What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, Peapod? It's your boy Sean P, the leader and general of the illest team known to man, the Purefoys, aka your family's favorite family. And today is Wednesday.
Wednesday,
What's today's date?
the 11th.
April 11th, 2018. And you are now live with Sean
And Key.
and Key. This is our weekly parent chat. And we got a couple kids that jump in here every now and again just to say what's up. But thank you to everyone who is in. We're going to wait a little. Well, we're going to wait till everyone gets in really quickly. And then we're going to start talking about today's topic. So if you're on Facebook or Twitter or even Instagram for that matter, please make sure you share us with your people. What up, what up, what up, what up? Everybody that's coming into the chat, welcome, welcome, welcome. We have I think, a dynamic topic to be talking about today. And then we also going to give you guys an opportunity to ask your questions on any topics. And if you aren't subscribed already, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button. Give us a big, 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 big thumbs up button. Big thumbs up button. Give a big thumbs up, and also make sure you hit the notification bell because I'm starting to think that you guys aren't getting our videos because our numbers is like kind of fluctuating up and down. So I want to make sure that everybody is getting a chance to see everything. So make sure you hit that notification bell so that you are always in the loop with everything that is going on with the Purefoys. Also, follow us on Instagram at the Purefoys, on Twitter at the Purefoys, and also on Facebook at the Purefoys. And today's topic will be getting underway in just a hot second. But right now, we're going to be sharing with our friends and family on our social media outlets. So give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Hey guys! So we are just sharing right now, and then we'll get started.
Why are all YouTube accounts logged out?
I don't know. That's what I was wondering. Kids. It's the kids. And we're going to get started in 1 second. Don't forget to share, guys, while we're sharing. I feel like it's taking me a long time to share today. Okay, I'm all shared. I'm shared. Do you guys follow Sean on his Instagram? Did you see the poll that he put up about dreadlocks? What do you guys think about that? I voted no. What did you guys vote? Because it's a poll. You should vote. You want dreadlocks, Boo? You don't know. But are you sharing? But yeah, check that Instagram out later and make sure you vote. And here he comes.
All right. So right now I got the 2-strand twist. That's what it's called. 2-strand twist. But you guys chime in if you like the look. I like it sometimes. Sometimes I don't. It's I've always been like partial to crazy hair, and it just looks cool, I think. But today's topic is planning your kids' lives. Should we or should we not be planning our kids' lives? Whose decision is it? What kids should be doing? when and where, who's creating their schedules, who's telling them to do this, telling them to do that. All of those things are super important as parents, and um, we have to plan for planning. And where this came about was we were watching a movie on Netflix. I forget the name of the movie. Do you remember it? I think it was called. I forget the name of the movie. Anyway, and we don't work for Netflix, so we not doing no free promo
we
over
don't
here.
have to say that.
But the premise of the movie was that this it was a single mom and a daughter, and the mom was just super goal driven, and she wanted her daughter to attend the best schools, so that she can have like the best life. And it was an animated
Yeah.
film, but it was done voiced by a lot of like stars and things like that. So it was a pretty credible movie, and I actually enjoyed it. But what it was, so the mom was just like super goal driven. She had like this amazing schedule for this girl. I mean, she had her whole summer planned out from every day of the summer,
Every minute,
every
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 hour.
minute, hour, second, everything that this girl was going to do for the next like 9 years. She already had a plan um, set for it, and as I was watching it, I was just like, I thought, like, how cool is that in one aspect, but then I also thought, how how terrible that might be, to be that planned, because the mom actually had plans for the girl. She was like, I don't know how old she was, but she had plans for her ninth birthday, and she even had planned out what she was going to get her for her ninth birthday. And it wasn't even a gift that the girl wanted, but it
No.
had something to do with school. And
Microscope. It
it
was
was
a
a
microscope.
microscope for when she started, studying biology in school, and it was just really, 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 really crazy. And of course, it's an animated film, so things like that are always going to be overboard. But it really got me to thinking, like, how much time do we put into planning for our kids, or planning our kids' lives, and should we leave it up to them, or is that something that like parents should do? And I really wanted to gauge, whoever is viewing today, gauge, their thoughts, and see what insight you guys had, or and then even have a conversation with you about it, and see like where you stand on it. So
Um,
why don't you
well,
voice your opinion on it?
I don't think that we should totally plan their lives. Like they have they're individuals, so they have their own passions, their own wants, their own hopes and dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and their own talents. So I'm all about cultivating the gifts they already have, and helping them to succeed, but not like planning their lives.
Why is that?
Um, because it's not my life. Like you stir them in the right directions. You help them the right ways to go.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in homeschool we have a schedule, but like it's not my life.
Okay, but do you think that as a parent, as someone who has wisdom about life, that someone who has gone through tests and trials, and someone who had, who is going through life and has more experience than them, um, you don't think that that should play like some type of role in like what?
Absolutely, but that's where communication and transparency comes from. Like, listen, I've been here XYZ. You don't want to go there. These are the consequences.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but you can't. Some people just have to learn through experience.
Okay,
So it's not like we can't lock the kids in their room.
we can. You can. We get some really strong locks in doors, and we can lock them in there. But this is my thought. I feel
See
like
what Jamie said. Wait.
that while it's not our lives to live, and they have to ultimately be um, content with the decisions that they make in their life. I feel that parents should have some direction for their children, and they should have some type of plan for what their kids do and don't do. Because what happens is that like kids, they're not responsible. They don't even know what it is. They don't even know what it is to live life, and they don't even know what to expect. They don't know what life is going to be like when they get older. So just allowing a kid to totally just make their own decisions and kind of just figure out life for themselves. I I think that I'm against, because as parents we know what our kids are talented in, but I think that we also need to be not only a guide, but sometimes we need to take the reins, because if you leave it up to kids to do what to follow their passion or to follow their dreams, who's to say they know how to do that?
No, right.
You
But what
know,
if they are doing the right thing, or what if they are taking all the avenues that they should be taking?
but how would that even come about? I mean,
Well,
I look
because
at.
we are leading them as parents.
I know, but
Okay.
that's where I believe that's where the planning comes.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like I take like Xavier for example. As talented and as like popular as he is, amongst the people who knows him, he doesn't take advantage of it, and I think he doesn't know how to take advantage of it. And I think that he doesn't know how to be. He doesn't know what passion really is. Except we show it to him. I think that had we, I mean, it's not too late, but had we set a plan for him to do, certain things, that he would be further along in his career with acting, and as far as like his social media and things like that. And that's actually something that I'm like considering doing, because kids, if you ever give them an option to like work hard or like chill or take the easy route, 9 times out of 10 they're going to try to take the easy route and just be like, I don't want, I don't want to, I don't think it shouldn't take this. It shouldn't take this much. It shouldn't be this difficult, especially during this millennial generation. I feel that they are self entitled. I feel like, and they're selfish, and because we as parents we allow them to.
I'm listening. Oh, is that it?
We allow them to, and I just don't want to take up all the talk time, but we allow them to, and we don't really push them like generations past. I grew up in during an era where parents were telling their kids, oh, you're going to be a doctor, oh, you're going to be this, oh, you're going to be this, and would not fund anything else. I feel like, especially like parents from the Caribbean, from other countries, they come to America and they know that their kid, this is what you're going to do. I want
Even if their child doesn't want to do that.
even if their child doesn't want to do it.
Okay.
And I even because
Do you
like
think that's right?
I think it has some merit.
Some merit, but
I also think it's right. What's wrong with it?
if that's not what the child wants to do, like,
But how do they know though? How does a child actually know what
I
they
don't
want to
know.
do?
When Janine was my sister, when she was 9 years old, she knew she wanted to be a lawyer. So ever since she was
But why
nine,
though?
she talked about being a lawyer.
But why?
That's just what she wanted to do.
Hey, what's up,
Hi.
scenic butterfly? Welcome. I don't remember ever seeing this name coming in, but welcome. This
Welcome.
is live with Sean and Key. We're talking about planning your kids' lives. Like, is that something that parents should do, or should we allow our kids to just discover who they are and by magic and happenstance, happen upon being the person that God has called them to be? And Janine is probably like a unicorn. Like that's one person. Can you
Oh, bless
name
you.
5 other people who knew exactly what they wanted to do when they were 9 years old?
No.
Right. So there's there's always those outliers, but for the norm, kids are just like, uh, I'll go with the flow. I feel like if my parents were a little harder on me
Mhm.
and gave me some direction, that I would have, you know, probably chosen a different path than the path that I want. I mean, of course, as believers, as a believer and follower of Jesus Christ, I believe all things work together for my good because I'm called according to his purpose. So everything had to work out this way. But
Thank you.
I also feel that, I had they been a little more stern, or if they had a plan for me, that I would have been, further along in life. I would have avoided a lot of the pitfalls that I fell down because I had so much freedom to live my life.
Mhm.
And I feel like, that goes a long way. You know, you think about, what did you want to be when you were a kid?
A veterinarian.
A veterinarian. Why aren't you a veterinarian?
I changed my mind.
Why?
I didn't want to operate on animals.
What changed though? You didn't want to operate on animals, but how much money do you make now?
I make I make thousands of dollars.
I'm gonna wait for her to tell the truth on this channel, on this live.
I make a lot of money.
You make a lot of money.
Like
Uh,
Medea be adding it up. Oh, what you do? You cook? Okay.
oh, um, but had your parents tapped into that and made a plan for you,
Uh-huh.
you could have been a veterinarian. And I just really think, uh,
Thank you.
she's worth a lot of money. Definitely. No one said that she wasn't worth a lot of money. Now she's worth millions of dollars, of course. But I want to know, like, how much money does she make now? You know, um, and even me, like, this is not. I have to hustle so hard to do the. I have to hustle so hard to do, everything that I do, so that we can have what we have, and I do that willingly and freely. But if I were a doctor, like some of my, do I have any friends that are doctors? I do. Friends from high school, college, whatever. If I were one of those type of people, those professions, then it would have been different. I look at, like, one of my friends from high school. She wanted to be a dentist, and her mom wanted her to be a doctor of some sort, and her mom would never let her waver from that at all. Like, she let her go to the movies and hang out, but if it wasn't, boys was off the table at high school. Wasn't a whole bunch of, like, too much hanging out. She went out very seldomly, but if it wasn't, helping further along that plan or that dream that mom had set for her, she wasn't doing it.
Is she a doctor?
She's a doctor now. Dr. Jackson.
Does she love it?
I'm sure she does. She's got her own like practice and everything. And well, I don't know if she loves it. I mean, who cares? Like how much do dentists make?
But you don't want to do something where you hate doing it every day.
But of course you don't want to, but sometimes you do. Sometimes you do. Listen, I work a
You
job,
can tell who's the free spirit.
I feel like in certain aspects I do have a free spirit, but there's also this thing called reality. There's also this thing called bills and responsibilities. Sometimes, and I even look at some of my musician friends. A lot of those guys, because they want to be the next Corey Henry and they want to be the next Swiss Beats and play on a bunch of gigs, and they tour with Mano and they tour with Alicia Keys and all these rappers and famous people, but they don't have health insurance, they don't have life insurance, they always move in eviction notices, child support, you know um, it's hard. They're living their dream, definitely, but especially like when you bring other people into the picture, sometimes your dreams aren't enough. And I remember a guy, one of my good friends, actually not one of my good friends, but my godfather's best friend. We were at his house one day, and he told me, he's like, "Yo, he's a doctor, and every like other month on the weekends he would be able to play. He's a very skilled like celloist, and every other month on the weekends he would be able to like play." And I was like, "Yo, man, that's so dope. That's so dope. You get to play in front of all these people." And he's like, "Yeah, it's cool for them, but playing the cello is not paying my bills. Playing the cello is not doing this, that, and the third. So sometimes you have to do what you can do to fund the thing that you love."
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm all for pursuing your dreams, but sometimes your dreams aren't, they don't translate to dollars. And I know that as adults, you need dollars. You need monies. You need the monies. You need one monies or two monies to pay thine bills.
Mm-hmm. What do you guys think?
No, you just sitting there.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
But
I said
you got to say
you're
something.
right. You're right. You do need money. You do need money to pay bills. But I also think that like I also think that there are other avenues to monetize your dreams. But yes, you do have to make money to pay your bills, and they help fund your dream in the beginning too. So,
Right. And now I'm not saying that you can't pursue your dreams, but I think it would be extremely foolish to be an adult who is chasing this dream, and you're putting your all into it and neglecting like other responsibilities.
yes.
So for a long time, you know, um, I wanted to be this R&B singer, but I didn't have, I wasn't putting in that work in the studio. I didn't have a cult following. I didn't have, I didn't have the, I didn't have the wherewithal or the means to keep it up. Like if I was in the city until 3 o'clock in the morning doing a show or being a part of a showcase, and I get back and I can't wake up to go to work, I'm losing money. And then, you gotta, especially now, dreams are expensive. You gotta be able to advertise. You gotta be able to um, be in the public eye. You gotta be able to stream. You gotta be able to do all these things. You gotta be able to get the word out. And all that takes money. Where's it coming from? You know, I think that when we plan for our kids, um, when we plan for our kids, we also teach them about planning.
Mm-hmm.
Like that things don't just happen just because. Very seldomly
Yeah.
do you just like walk up on something just like by just like, oh snap, look what happened. Oh, I'm making money doing this now. Very seldomly does that happen. But it's just like really, 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 really important to just plan. So if you're not planning your kids' lives, that's not what I'm saying. I don't think that you need to be OD like, yo, on Tuesday of 5 years from now, on March 39th or whatever date. That's not even a
39th.
real date, really. It might be.
I'm like, what year is that?
You're going to be doing this at 3:30. I don't think that that's like always necessary.
Mm-hmm.
But you definitely need to teach your kids how to plan and
Mm-hmm.
the importance of planning. I think that when we set goals for our
I was just
children,
about to say that goals.
we give them a guideline and help them measure, where they stand, not so much like in comparison to other people,
Mm-hmm.
but just like competing with themselves.
Yeah, just so they have a visual of where they want to go and or where they're going. If we're planning, we're sending them there.
Yeah. So how do you think people should plan for their kids? Like what could be some concrete steps that we can give people to help them plan their kids' lives?
um,
And I think we
have you?
had someone came in with like something to say.
Live by example. Oh, I agree. I'm working on my ministry, nonprofit, and funding is the primary reason I can't push forward the way I like. Yeah.
And money talketh.
Yeah.
Money, answereth all
Thanks.
things, and that's even the Bible, and with God in creation, God had all of us on his mind before he spoke it into existence. He saw it happening. He saw this very moment happening before it happened. So he's planned for it. That's why, even as believers, and I'm helping myself right now. Even as believers, we can trust in God, making a way because he's already thought about it.
Yes.
He already knew that it was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like all he's doing is just waiting for it. And he's like, all right, I know this is going to happen. And then like he's like this like grand director, like, yo, this is about to happen in 5, 4, 3. Cue the blessing
Cute
and
blessing.
action. Blessing comes is like, yeah, hero saves the day, so on and so forth. But what would you say? Setting goals for kids. What should people do
Um,
as we wrap up?
I definitely think they should sit down together because I don't think that. I don't, Ariana says she wants to be a doctor.
When?
Huh?
When did she say that?
Before she came into the labor and delivery room.
She changed her mind because she said she want to be a YouTuber now.
See?
She want to be a YouTuber. It's starting to make me hate YouTube. They watch too much YouTube. Ari wants to be a YouTuber. She wants to be a vlogger. And I was so disgusted when I heard that, like, because Ariana was my champion child, because she wanted to be a doctor. She was just so. She's not watching enough Doc McStuffins. That's what it is. That's what it is.
She's trying to watch YouTube.
And I guess that's because that's what we're doing. But like, I don't want my daughter to be a YouTuber unless she's like the pimple popper, a doctor who's on YouTube. So I hope she does that.
Be a dermatologist.
I don't want her. I don't want her to be just like trying to hustle in these YouTube streets.
So how do we plan?
We had to set goals for her. So like we sit down, see what she really wants to do, and then like teach her about commitment. And sticking to a plan. And then we make what are they called, benchmarks to meet. Just like in school, you need to be able to be you need to be able to do this at a certain time. So in 6 months, do you know all the bones in the body?
Mm-hmm.
These are things that we could teach her now.
Yeah.
Do you know about the cardiovascular system? Do you know about
She actually does
cells? That's
know
awesome.
some of this stuff.
So these are things that she can get like really really into, and
Mm-hmm.
then like the fun can be cultivated around that.
Mm-hmm.
So we take her to Liberty Science Center every year so they could see so she could see the cardiovascular
Yeah.
display, or take her to like teach her about famous black doctors,
Mm-hmm.
or teach her about just medicine period, and cultivate those things. And then as she grows older, she now has like, this is her wave, this is my lane,
Yeah.
and now I can make choices based off of then it doesn't become so much on us.
Yeah. And she'll honestly, I feel like if we cultivate those gifts and those desires of hers, she'll have more confidence later.
Yeah, because the Bible says, train up a child in the way that they should go, in the way that they should go, right? Like, you should go this way. So I'm going to train you to go this way. A lot of times, we're not doing the training them to go in any way. We're just training them to just do stuff, but we need to train them to go a specific way. And when they're old, they won't depart from it. So even if she doesn't become a doctor, she'll know the importance of planning. She'll make, choices that are leading her to a path of success, so that whatever she pursues, or whatever any of the kids pursue, that they'll be dope at it. Because it's like, I used to want to be a doctor, and I knew that it took this much hard work to become that. So I know what hard work feels like now. So whatever I have to do, or whatever I'm going to do, whatever I'm going to pursue, I am going to that same type of work, that same effort
Yeah.
has to
Put
be
my all.
put in
Mm-hmm.
into whatever we do. So yeah, man, talk with your kids, see what they love, and then set up a plan, set benchmarks for them to help them do some research, or have them do research, because again, it's their life. And even though it's their life, as parents, we have some say so, we have a lot of say so. And our effort and how we live our lives, like Tawanya said, living by example is going to really impact how kids view life, and how they should go about doing things.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to always be perfect, and you're going to have those kids like our son Jaden, who loves to just stray away from everything that we teach them.
We teach him to go right, and he goes left.
Pray for that boy. Pray for him. But we teach him to go away, and not go away, but go a certain way. And if they fall off the path, that's them. But I believe that if we remain consistent with our kids, that when they get older and understand, like, oh, my parents are actually smart, they do know some things, they'll be able to get back in line with at least the mentality
Yes.
of what they should be doing, or the training that you're providing for them. And I did have one question that someone asked me on Facebook that I really wanted to address really quickly before we leave, and we are 3 minutes or 8 minutes over. I don't want this to be too long, but this young lady asked me, what do you do when your child, if you're a believer of Christ, and your child comes to you and says they don't believe in Jesus, and they think that the Bible is fake. So, like I said again, I'm going to quote the same scripture: "Train up a child in a way that they should go, and when they're old, they won't depart from it." We have to continue, no matter what our kids say, until they are able to fend for themselves. You have to establish rules and regulations within your own home. They might. It's fine if they don't believe in the Lord.
But as for me and my house.
But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. So if our kids, they don't believe in God and whatever, that's fine. That's on them. That's
Mm-hmm.
between them and the Lord. But we're still going to church every Sunday. We're still going to be singing worship songs. We're still going to be doing all those things. As parents, it is not our job to force kids to do anything.
No.
We are the light, and we are the guiders of them to truth, which is in Christ Jesus. And we have to teach them about faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen.
Mm-hmm.
So, regardless of if you think that the Bible is fake, that's your thoughts. But I have faith, so therefore, if I believe something, then it
It is
is.
real. Mm-hmm.
It is. And this song has been really really blessing me. I got a chance to sing it at praise and worship today. It's called "Do It Again." Shout out to Love of Jesus, Orange, New Jersey, for putting me on to that song. But the song has been blessing me, blessing me, blessing me, blessing me. And it's just saying, Lord, I seen you do it again. I know for a fact that the Lord is real because He's done so many miraculous things in my life that I have no other choice but to trust Him and
Mm-hmm.
believe on Him. All right, so that's really it. So train up your kids, teach them the way that they should go, set plans and goals and benchmarks for them, and work on it as a team. Things that happen together as a team usually stay longer, and kids retain
Yes.
it more. So that's really it, man. Thank you guys for rocking with us. If there aren't any more questions, we are going to sign off because I really want to see this basketball game that's on tonight. It's a really challenging game. And you got anything else you want to say?
No, that's it.
All right, man. Again, this is Sean,
And Key.
and you've been live with Sean and Key, our weekly broadcast. Thank you for everybody who came in. Don't forget to comment after the live goes off. Give us a thumbs up. Share us with your friends. Let love.
Peace.
Peace. Bam.